Any Xenoblade game is an extremely ambitious title that exceeds any sort of expectation you will have going into the game. It may even exceed your expectation of the capabilities of whatever console you are playing the game on. Xenoblade Chronicles 3 is no exception to this. Monolith Soft consistently is able to create experiences that are far beyond any sort of expectation you would have prior to. And this is going to be my spoiler-free review or overview of Xenoblade Chronicles 3. I do plan to also do a spoiler-filled Xenoblade 3 ending discussion and review within tomorrow or the next upcoming days. So, the main reason why I hadn't uploaded in about, a little over a week is because I just wanted to play the game. I did chapter 1 review and then I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna go through and experience the game, and over 50 hours later, here I am. Now granted, a lot of people, you could easily spend 100 hours in this game. My friend is, I think, maybe around 60 hours in, and he's only on chapter 5, and this game is 7 chapters long, so he's only on chapter 5, but that's just because the sheer amount of content packed in this game, it is crazy. Now, Xenoblade 1 and 2, if you play Definitive Edition and Xenoblade 2, both of those are massive games with large, incredible amount of areas to explore. This game takes that and blows it out of the water. The exploration in this game is taken to a whole nother level with a bunch of incentives to explore. Now, I heavily recommend exploring because there are certain story details and expansions on the main story that you can only get by exploring this game. This game rewards you for exploring. In the first 2 games, you would get rewarded for exploring by EXP and maybe some other rare items. This game goes so further beyond that when it comes to just purely exploring. I haven't even gotten to the gameplay or anything like that, but exploring, in order to have a full complete immersion in this game, you need to explore, and it is simple. All you really need to do is just walk around, and there are little question marks that'll pop up on your map. You go to one of those and then some story will open up, and so the accessibility and the sheer amount that you get from exploring this game is better than the first 2. And I never did side quests, or I always stuck to the main story, but in this game, the way that it invites you to do side content, it doesn't even, a lot of the quote-unquote side content doesn't even feel like side content. That's how you know how good it is. Like with Xenoblade 2, it'd be a lot of, you run around, get this, bring it back, which there are some aspects of that in this game, but far less. I know Xenoblade 2 side quests could be kind of long, and then trying to level up things like affinity and whatnot could be kind of tedious, and so I think Xenoblade 1 and 2 have had little complicated areas, but this game simplifies essentially everything. And I know that because literally I've done more side quests in this game than all the other ones, and I've been invited to continue to explore, and I would hit a lot of roadblocks in the first 2 games, and this game really, as long as you play it and explore, you're not really going to find any, I want to say, roadblocks. There's not going to be anything that just gets in your way. If you want to run through the story, by all means you can, but that is not the ideal way to play this game, and you will understand that as you go, as you immerse yourself. It is something that you will better experience rather than me telling you, right? And so this game is just, it is massive. And I know everyone's going to say that. That's probably what everyone has heard. But not only that, a lot of people would not have thought, if you told me this what would be the third game in the series, I don't think anyone would believe it. And not only that, the way this game was presented is that it's clearly connecting the futures of Xenoblade 1 and Xenoblade 2. And everyone's thinking, you're going to need to play the first 2 games in order to play this one. There's no way you could play this. There's no way this could stand out as this can't just be a standalone game, With Xenoblade 1 and 2, people could argue which one is better, but there still was a little bit of a connection. But when you have something that is so clearly connected to the first 2 games, you think you must just have to play the first 2. And the craziest part about it, sitting here after beating this game really stands on its own 2 feet. I was thinking when I was hearing in interviews that you don't have to play the other 2 games to play this game. I'm like, yeah, no, they're just saying that. But no, I genuinely think you could have an phenomenal, amazing experience that only Monolith Soft can deliver by playing this game without playing the other 2. Now, it is heavily recommended to play the other 2. I personally would recommend you play the other 2 before you play this game, because you will get the most out of it. Kind of like how you get the most out of Xenoblade 2 by playing 1, but in this game it's on another level. There's a lot of parts of this game that are for people who have played the first 2, but people who are playing this game for the first time, it wouldn't occur to them, right? There's some things where maybe someone who is new to the series might be like, oh, that might have happened in an old game, but I think they do a good job of giving enough for Xenoblade 1 and 2 fans, and then also enough for people to play this as a standalone game, this being their first game. Now, at the end of the day, I don't know how. I mean, it's crazy that this game is I've beaten it and I'm still trying to I'm still processing. I'm recording this about 24 hours after I've beaten the game and I'm still processing everything. So if that tells you something, this game is something that I also recommend you take your time with. Even though I've beaten this game about a week after it came out, I definitely spent a lot of time doing side quests. I could spend even more time doing side quests, and I do plan, after I've beaten this game, there are still areas that I want to go explore and some more side quests to do that I haven't done yet. So I'm not done playing the game. I just need a breather. I need a second. But I think that this game delivers, and I hope that this game is able to get out to a lot more people. I just want a lot of people to experience the Xenoblade franchise, because honestly, this game makes me think about why I love this franchise, why I love Monolith Soft as developers. And this game just highlights how great Monolith Soft is. Having a game as big as this on the Nintendo Switch, people would think you were crazy. But this game really is able to push any sort of boundary someone might set for the Switch. And yeah, I mean, it blew my expectations, and I just really think that you have to experience this game for yourself. And it's one of those things where I want to explain so many of my thoughts, but I really kind of got to limit myself to keep this spoiler free. So if anyone's watching this that hasn't played Xenoblade 3, I highly recommend you do whatever you can to go play this game. If you're a Xenoblade fan, you have to play this game, man. It doesn't matter if you like 1 more than 2 or if you like 2 more than 1, whichever one is your favorite, it doesn't matter. This game will blow your mind regardless. Whatever you think about whatever game, if you don't like 2 or you don't like 1, I still think you're gonna like this game. So this game is for anybody who likes Xenoblade, anyone who likes storytelling, JRPGs, anime. This is just a phenomenal game, and this was my introduction to JRPGs. I never really played real big story games before this. The main story game I played before Xenoblade was Undertale. And honestly, playing this game has not only changed, I don't want to be corny and say changed my life, but I mean, it is peak storytelling, and I think this game continues to show how Monolith Soft are incredible at creating art and masterpieces. This game is no exception to the masterpieces of Xenoblade. It perfectly complements the first two, and yeah. Stay tuned for my new video, with my next video, which is going to cover actual spoilers, and we're going to talk about what this means in the context of Xenoblade as a whole and Xenoblade as a future. So the next video is going to be a little bit beefier, and I will let you know the next video is going to have a whole lot of spoilers in it. I just want to put this video out there to let y'all know that I love Xenoblade 3. Go play it if you haven't played it already. Thank you for all the support, and that's where I've been for the past week. I've been playing the shit out of this game, but I love y'all. This game is a masterpiece, and yeah, I was crying at the end of it. Yeah, but anyway, love y'all. See y'all in the next video. Go play this damn game if you haven't already.